Going on, everyone? John Matrix here. Hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful day. Kane Pixels has dropped another video in his Backroom series, so we're going to check it out. Been a big fan of this so far. I'm interested to see what more information, if any, we get in this new video of his. So, as always, links will be down below in the description to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to Kane Pixels channel. Please do me a favor, if you enjoy this video as we go through it, go give it a like. And if you've been enjoying the Backroom series as I have, you know, go over the Kane Pixels channel and hit that sub button. Show them some love. Yeah, if you want to join us when we do these reactions live, there is a join button in this video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer. Been around for a while and decided you want to take your sport to the next level. Check those out and see if any of that would have any kind of interest story. You can get early access to videos, requests on any kind of reactions, you know, prior to any kind of reaction requests you might have, etc., etc. But yeah, so we're going to check out Backrooms Lighting and Tile Survey, the most recent video released by Kane Pixels. Let's do that. Let's get it. Volume up. Not that high, but like that. Let's do it. Preliminary notes on lighting and tile survey 11/15/89. Okay, so now we're going back in time somewhere. Async Research Institute, internal use only. Dr. Julia Mesner.
Today is November 14th. It is a Tuesday.
It's interesting that we're hearing him talk, but it's muffled again.
Yeah. It is incredibly cold.
Incredibly cold. So they've already got the what's it called? I guess the way station, if you want to call it that. The like security area set up in between.
Hopefully by the time you're watching this, we'll actually have a decent hitting system down here. That'd be nice.
Can't really tell what he's saying.
Oh, hello, camera.
Police just dropped you on the bin right now. Because the green one reads.
10-4.
10-4. Sounds like the Charlie Brown adult noises. Wah 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 wah. It looks like we have a team setting up something. So I wonder if this is one of the earlier expeditions. I would need to go back and look through the videos to see the timeline. So they're going up to study the various tiles. Okay, so in previous videos, it seemed like wherever Stickman, you know, the bacteria entities, whatever are, you know, wherever they have gone, it seemed like the tiles and whatnot had been displaced. So it could actually, in fact, have been the team from Async going through and just moving these tiles around to take a look at, you know, what's going on up here on these roofs, and I guess to study the various lighting. So it might not actually be the case that, you know, the bacteria entities, whatever they're called, are the ones that are trashing the tiles and the roofs. I thought that was the case because it seemed to be an indication wherever they had gone through or close by to them, a lot of tiles and the roofs had been messed up where they had maybe been moving through. And you could see, you know, the black trails of them being, you know, having passed through there. So this seems to indicate that this could have been Async research teams now. Well, I mean, it looks like there's just ducting up there, right? Just normal ducting, ventilation stuff. I'm waiting for the scene from Aliens to happen here now.
No insulation on top, and I'm seeing a bunch on the floor above. There's ventilation as well. You see that? You see the vents?
Yeah, there's ventilation. It looks like a normal office building.
I don't know, I'm not...
I've been through many an office building in my IT days, you know, routing Cat5 cable and whatnot, and this looks, you know, pretty normal so far.
Not a vent guide in there. Oh, it looks, no rust, I think.
Yeah, interesting. There's no rust or anything on there indicating
more than one
breakdown.
floor, and I use that term loosely.
Wait, what?
No rust, I think. Huh.
More than one floor, and I use that term loosely. We then attempted to cut power to the nearest fluorescent light fixture, a standard troffer. However, we were unable to isolate the power source, and the conduit remained live, despite the absence of any visible external power supply.
So they cut the cables to the lighting, yet lighting was still there. That's pretty interesting then. So then, yeah, like, what is powering them? Is anything powering them? Are they just on because this dimension is replicating? The lighting is being on and the cables are just part of it, and it's like it's actually meaningless? Or is there some other kind of localized power source that we don't understand powering these things that could lead to a whole new branch of technology? You know what I'm saying? That's actually kind of fascinating.
A standard troffer. However, we were unable to isolate the power source, and the conduit remained live, despite the absence of any visible external power supply. The source of electrical current remains unknown at this time. Using an insulated toolkit, we carefully isolated the light fixture from its electrical conduit, extracted the troffer from the ceiling, and transported it back inside.
So they took one of the fixtures out of the ceiling.
Analysis. And they added a 0.5 meter sample of conduit was also taken, with all exposed wiring safely secured afterwards in the ceiling. So
I wonder, would the wires, I mean, I was going to say, I wonder if the wires would still be live. Like if they, you know, are the wires just a prop, or are they actually feeding it, you know, energy, regardless of it being connected or not, you know? But I guess if they're able to, getting a hair in my tongue, I guess if they are able to, you know, isolate and cut through the wires, that would not be the case. Although I'm sure there are tools that would allow you to cut through, you know, certain live things safely, but who knows?
The ceiling tile extracted measures 1.27 meters by 1.14 meters, which is certainly not standard. But it's composed primarily of mineral fiber. It seems normal in composition, has a fissured texture with mild tegular edges. So after initial analysis, the composition of the tile estimated is around 60% mineral wool, which is fibers of amorphous silicate, usually derived from, I think it's basalt or slag, around 20% expanded perlite, which is primarily of silicon dioxide and aluminium.
So, I mean, she's going through a breakdown of what these tiles are made of the various minerals and substances, and I don't have enough knowledge to understand if this is like abnormal or if this is what normal tiles are made of. You know, you're talking about silicate and this, that, and the other thing. So, like, I'm wondering, like, is this some kind of silicone-based substance? Like, is this supposed to be something that is very out of the ordinary? I would assume if it is, they'll explain maybe some of it in the video.
Oxide, and the rest is around 20% expanded perlite, which is primarily of silicon dioxide and aluminium oxide, and the rest is a undefined mixture of silicate material, some starch, latex polymers, and some organic fibers derived from plant materials.
See, I was almost wondering if it was going to be something where it's like they discovered that this was made through some kind of, you know, bacteria growth or something like that, you know, like it was something more organic and made to look, you know, replicate normal office tiles and stuff that, you know, you would see in normal businesses nowadays, buildings, etc.
Latex polymers and some organic fibers derived from plant materials, recycled cellulose, really. But the light troffer housing is made of galvanized steel coated with a thin layer of zinc inside. The fluorescent bulbs
That sounds
are
normal to me.
non-standard in proportion, most closely resembling T12 bulbs. So the 4 bulbs measure 1.2 meters in length with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters. We're extrapolating here at 51, but that bulb and lasers and the rest contain the following components: phosphor coating, the calcium hemiphosphate for converting ultraviolet light to visible light, mercury vapor in a small quantity, which facilitates the ultraviolet light.
So I think these are, I mean, again, I don't have enough knowledge to know if this is out of the ordinary, but I would assume that this is supposed to be like normal in like halogen lights or whatever.
Emission, argon gas, and again, this is all standard for these fluorescent bulbs.
Or fluorescent, I mean,
That's
not
an inert
halogen.
gas. It assists with with regulating the current and really starting the bulbs. And they are connected via a G13 base, which is a standard 2-pin
Yeah,
base with
that's normal.
13 millimeter spacing for electrical connection. So the wiring connected to the fixture is PVC insulated copper, which...
So it's interesting that this other dimension is seemingly, I guess, replicating, you know, real world stuff. I mean, I don't know. On the one hand, it's interesting, but on the other hand, we know from previous videos that it seems to be taking matter and material from the real world and moving it in here. So it could just be that it's somehow there's some kind of like intelligence in there that is extrapolating what our real world technology is and is creating as best the facsimile as it can, because it sounds like, you know, the lights and the electrical stuff and the connectors are standard, but the sizes are different. Like the actual bulbs aren't what would be a standard size. The tiles themselves aren't of a standard size, but they're made from the same normal material, etc.
appears standard. Again, the prismatic diffuser over the bulbs is made of polymethyl methacrylate, which is, again, commonly used for its light diffusion properties. I mean, it's what we have in the building here, very standard.
Right.
But we also inspected the ballast, which is of the electromagnetic type. There's some variation in how they're being manufactured now. This one contains a laminated steel core and copper windings designed to operate at 60 hertz. So the ballast emits a prominent 120 hertz hum. This seems to be the case for the majority, if not all, of the lights in the complex that we've assessed thus far, mostly just through simple curing. But this is due to magnetostriction and core vibration. But the noise may be exacerbated by loose lamination plates or degradation of the insulating potting material over time. So it's definitely an indication that this has been running for a little bit. I mean, despite its age.
So it's indicating that this has been there and running for a while, hence the humming, which you wouldn't necessarily get from something brand new.
The ballast indication that this has been running for a little bit. I mean, despite its age, the ballast is functional. Its large proportions suggest it was built for a non-standard space, not something you'd find in the majority of offices or most commercial spaces, though that...
So I'm assuming that these are pictures from in the back rooms they've taken and where some of the lightings and things are.
Something that's not something I'm too familiar with, truthfully. Now, we did find... So material compositions all seem...
I wish it was easier to read some of this stuff. The space seemed to leave a lot of lights and few people. It's hard to read some of these things. Occupancy, does the space. Yeah, I don't know. I can't read everything, so I'm not just going to sit here.
Or we don't know what to expect here. They've seen everything we've looked at so far. Again, this is rudimentary.
Light system efficient can be improved.
Pretty congruent. We don't know compositions all seem...
Does the space seem to have a lot of lights on and few people? Are many workstations unoccupied? If so, make a note of it and consider whether the space needs better types of occupancy credentials, controls, maybe. The space seemed to have abundant daylight. Turn the lights off and take some luminescence measurements. How much daylight is there? If plenty, make a note of it and consider whether the space needs better daylight controls or make better use of the daylighting. I test ambient lighting where the daylight provides the ambient light. Is the lighting system efficient? Could efficiency be improved by installed higher efficiency lamps? Ballasts. I think that's supposed to be laminates or luminaries. I can't really tell. Are fixtures clean? Are surfaces, are surface reflectancies high? Is there too much or too little light? Was adequate time given for the lights to stabilize after they were turned on? May take a long time, as long as 20 minutes. Is the lighting arranged properly with respect to workstations? Or is too much light in the body, shadow, or zone of the reflected? So yeah, I guess this is just, they're trying to, I guess, take notes and observations of the various areas about the lighting and the light fixtures and how well it illuminates rooms or not versus normal daylighting or not. I guess maybe they could potentially be studying these as better, more efficient ways of creating better lighting fixtures or something.
We did find, so material compositions all seem expected, or we don't know what to expect here. They seem.
So I guess from what she's saying here too is that all the materials that they're finding in the tiles and light fixtures are of, you know, normal expected materials and compositions. There's nothing strange about them.
So far, again, this is rudimentary early testing, but everything seems pretty congruent with what you might expect from one of the.
It feels like there's got to be like a shoe that's going to drop here before the end of this, right? It feels like there's got to be something more going on. It would be kind of strange for there to be a video about the lighting tiles and lighting fixtures with nothing out of the ordinary, unless that is in fact the point, is that it's all made from the same material that, you know, we already know and can make. And what does that mean?
It's pretty congruent with what you might expect from one of the troffer lights you could pull out of the ceiling in this building right here. So nothing too strange, but it's maybe,
I guess is
that maybe makes things
some kind of schematics for lighting diffusal.
And let me see. Continuing. So several labels were marked on various components of the troffer. So on the ballast, we found markings for marked it as a universal ballast, Type A, manufactured in 1975 with serial number A.
So this could be part of it. This could be that it's showing that materials from our reality world or whatever are being taken, you know, this could be like a real company, Universal Corp. They manufactured these. It has a serial number and everything to prove that it was manufactured by this company. And so the Backrooms complex, you know, whatever, has taken this, you know, lighting fixture from a real life place and put it in, you know, this alternate dimension. So it could just simply be proving that, yes, it's taking stuff from the real world and putting it in here. Even the lighting fixtures.
Marked it as a universal ballast, Type A, manufactured in 1975 with serial number A75234X. The troffer itself is stamped 3X432, and that was manufactured in 1973 in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it is UL listed. And the bulbs were manufactured by Sylvania, and they're marked F40SW, that's soft white, with no visible date information. It's left blank.
Interesting.
But it is noted as made in the USA. So, I mean, though outdated in design, the fixture appears fully functional. The stable operation of all light fixtures.
So it's interesting that the fixtures and the actual like electrical circuitry has serial numbers, dates, stamps of like manufacturing, and then the lighting is only like partially right. It has, you know, the name of the company and a serial number on it, but date of manufacturing is not on there. So that could be an indication that it's replicating things from materials that it knows.
Fixtures in the subdivision points to a continuous, potentially autonomous power source, which still remains unidentified. We're doing what we can. The materials used are durable with minimal visible wear, suggesting they were built for long-term, possibly indefinite use. So this concludes the initial findings. Further investigation is necessary to determine the source.
It was made in Pennsylvania in 1973. Okay, well, that was the end of that video. Interesting. I might have to watch this one again just to kind of get my own other thoughts about this, but like I said, it seems to kind of indicate two things. It seems to indicate that the Backrooms is taking material from our world, our reality, and using it in this Backrooms dimension, but it's also able to then replicate stuff that it potentially has found in there to, you know, create whatever it needs to. That's what I feel like this was an indication of. From all the materials and stuff that she was talking about and what it was made of, it seems to be standard issue stuff. It seems to be made of, you know, normal materials, nothing out of the ordinary. The fixtures, the electrical components, the lights themselves, all made of standard stuff that are used. I believe she even said at one point in time that the technology even is a little out of date because this was, you know, 89 and the stuff was from the mid 70s. So that could also be an indication of the fact that I believe it was Overflow, the video that we saw, that took place in the early to mid 70s, I believe. There was a date on there from the early to mid 70s, I think, of an initial test that happened. So yeah, it could be that all this time, this other dimension has been taking materials from our world, our reality, whatever, and learning about them and how to replicate them, potentially. I don't know. I'm wondering if there is some kind of other intelligence in this dimension that somehow is at work here. And if so, what's the purpose of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But interesting. I guess, you know, let me know what you guys get from this in the comments. I might have to watch through this one again to kind of, I guess, let my thoughts marinate a little bit more. But those are my takes from this video, is that the Backrooms it's confirmed that it's taking stuff from our reality, but also is able to replicate things when I guess potentially it's not able to have enough of its own material. Like it's able to recreate and replicate materials once it's taken material in from our world and learns how things are made. It's able to then replicate stuff at will, I guess, is what I think is happening, without having to take more material from our world. And so potentially I wonder if it's a situation where it's taking stuff from our world to learn about our world and how to create things and structures properly, which could also potentially be why, you know, we look at the night sky in I think the Found Footage 3, and you know there's like a red moon or sun, and it just doesn't necessarily look right because it doesn't know what our night sky is really supposed to be or look like. Or potentially, it could just be the outside in another dimension or something, you know what I mean? Who knows? But yeah, interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys theories, ideas, and whatnot thoughts are. Links will be down below in the description as always to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to Kane Pixel's channel. Please do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you've been enjoying going through the back rooms as much as I have, you know, go over to Kane Pixel's channel and hit that sub button. Show the man some love. If you want to join us when we do these reactions live, there is a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer. If you've been around the channel for a while and decided you want to take your sport to the next level, you know, check those out and see if any of those have any interest for you. You can get priority in any kind of reaction requests you might have. You can, you know, join us here when we do these reactions live. You can get early access up to a week beforehand on videos when I release them, etc., etc. So just take a look at that, see if you decide you want to take your sport to the next level. Regardless, thank you guys very much for watching. Really appreciate that you taking the time out of your busy days to come in, hang out, check out the videos. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like and a sub. It helps me and the channel grow. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have yourselves a wonderful day.